Hello, my fellow Americans. Welcome to the Political Surfing Nerd channel. This is episode 2 where I will talk about the power hungry Democrats. Cue intro. He's just a normal guy with political views. Yeah, he's the political surfing nerd on the channel of YouTube. Alright, I'm going to try and keep this video short. Obviously, it's very difficult to do that and try and get all this information that I need to get in. But I feel pretty good about this video, and I feel I will be informative and short. So let's get into the first thing, about the power-hungry Democrats. They want to take away the Second Amendment. The reason they want to take away the Second Amendment is because once they feel that they get power again, which I pray never happens, that they don't want people to be able to say no. They don't want people to be able to fight back and say that you guys obviously don't care about us average Americans. You only care about what's doing best for your crony pal elites, in Washington, D.C. and big tech and media and Hollywood and all that stuff. And they don't want us to be able to say no. They don't want us to be able to stand up and fight back. So that's just one of the reasons why they want to take away the Second Amendment. Another reason is just that they simply don't understand the Second Amendment. They don't know anything about how weapons work, how guns work, and all of that. They think that Americans have access to fully automatic weapons, which means that if you pull the trigger one time, you get multiple shots with one trigger pull. We don't have that. We don't have any of those guns. Well, that's not allowed to us. That's military stuff that we don't have access to. We have semi-automatic weapons, which are like pistols, rifles, and shotguns, which you pull the trigger one time, you get one shot. The reason they're semi-automatic is because you don't have to essentially reload and recock the firearm every time you go to shoot. You just pull the trigger, it reloads again, you pull the trigger, and you only get one shot every time. So it's not understanding it, but also I really feel that they don't want us to be able to fight back and say no, because that's the whole purpose of the Second Amendment, is to be able to stand up to a corrupt government. Anyway, I could elaborate on that forever. We're going to move on to the next point. Democrats only want people to have one choice, and that one choice is essentially abortion. When it comes to abortion, they don't mind, it's fine, you can make that choice, you can kill babies, whether how immoral or disgusting it is, you can have that choice. Fathers who may want to keep the baby, you don't have that choice. Women have that choice, not you. I am disgusted by abortion, especially when I saw the recent viral video on TikTok of two girls. One girl's going to get an abortion, her friend's filming the whole time, and they're sitting there celebrating it, like fist pumping, like, yeah, we're awesome. Look at how great women's rights are. We're so empowered, blah, blah, blah. It's like, we're so courageous. Like, no, what's courageous is knowing that you made a mistake and got pregnant, and then owning up to that mistake, and then having the child, raising that child, coming to find out later in life that, you know what, this was probably the best decision I ever made. Anyway, that's the only choice they want you to have. They don't want you to have the choice of what cars and what transportation you can use. They don't want you to have the choice when it comes to healthcare. They don't want you to have the choice of what you can put in your bodies. Mike Bloomberg, specifically, when he wants to take away big gulps and take away fatty foods that aren't good for people. Michelle Obama with her student lunch program for children, making them eat the most disgusting tasting crap, but hey, it's healthy, right? The kids are miserable and pack their own lunches because it's like, I don't want to eat that crap. Anyway, just another prime example of how they're power hungry. Moving on, excuse me. More recently in the news with the coronavirus and everything happening, Trump appointed Mike Pence to head the task force to combat coronavirus. Now, you would think that the Democrats would be like, we need to combat this. Anything we can do to help combat this, we'll do it. No, blah, blah. No. What they do is they turn this into a political attack on Trump. They don't care about the ultimate outcome of the coronavirus on our population, on the world. They care about using this as a political tool to beat Trump. Anything to make Trump look bad, they'll use it. Doesn't matter how immoral or disgusting it is. They'll use it as long as it makes Trump look bad. Just another sign of how much they want power. Moving on. Another example of, to me, a prime example of power hungriness is in the Nevada debate, when Elizabeth Warren was saying we're up against someone who calls women fat broads, horse-faced lesbians, so on and so forth. And I'm not talking about Trump. I'm talking about Mike Bloomberg. And then shortly after that, literally within 30 seconds, says, well, I'll support whoever the Democratic nominee is. And it's exactly it. I mean, she's telling you right there that I don't care. I just want to beat Trump. I just want the power. I want to take Trump down. And it's not just Trump, it's Republicans. Any Republican that goes up, I mean, they'll demean the guy, they'll dehumanize the person and say that he's dangerous and bad for this country. They just don't care. They want power. It could be Adolf Hitler, and as long as he has a D behind his name, go, more power to him. As long as he can take down Trump and he's got a D behind his name, we're good. Anyway, moving on. More examples of Democrat hypocrisy is they don't live by what they preach. A prime example of that was with the Obamacare when they essentially forced the law down everyone's throat. And Nancy Pelosi is famous for saying that, oh, we don't need to, we need to pass it to know what's in it. It's 1,100 pages of documents. No time to read it. Just get it passed, and then we can deal with it. Well, that's because once that happens and it's in power, like once it's established as a law, it's a lot harder to fight it, a lot harder to try and combat it, a lot harder to take it down, and it's just a prime example. That is just a prime example. It's like, we don't care if you guys don't like it. We're gonna shove it down your throat. And then if you don't like it, well, have fun trying to deal with it after the fact, Another prime example of they don't live by what they preach is when it comes to climate change. A lot of them talk about, the climate change, and, there's so many examples out there of, like, them being hypocritical on climate change. It's funny that Bernie Sanders recently took a private jet to fly 200 miles, 10-minute flight. Like, not necessary to take a private jet. Why don't you just fly commercial or take a train or take a bus or something like that? A lot of these Democrats who praise or are really adamant about climate change won't walk up to the store that's right around the corner, won't skateboard, won't do any of that, won't take a bus to where they can and not drive their car. They're gonna get in their cars and drive up the street to go to the store and grab one thing and come right back. It's they don't live by what they preach. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is another example of they don't live by what they preach, because she has been out there crying and complaining about how, old white men in this country are the problem, and, the white patriarchy needs to be taken down. And who does she support? Bernie Sanders, an old white man. I mean, they don't live by what they preach. Simple as that. They only care about the power at the end of the day. Another example is that, most of these Democrats are career politicians who have been in D.C. for decades and haven't done anything of value for the American people. Look at Bernie Sanders. He really hasn't done anything to help the American people. There will be people out there to defend him that point out one or two policies. It's like, he's been there for 40 years. Maybe not 40 years. He's been there for like 29, 30 years. But he's been there for decades. And if you can only point to one or two policies that he's actually been a part of that have been good for the American people, come on. It's ridiculous. Jerry Nadler's, the Clintons, Joe Biden, Maxine Waters, a lot of these people, Dianne Feinstein. I mean, these people have been there forever and have done nothing. You hear about them when it's convenient, and then when they have certain things, to really come out against Trump. Other than that, they're not doing anything for the American people. Moving on, we're going to talk about, just take a look at Democrat policies. Right now they're all running on Trump bad, orange man bad. They are not promoting any policies of substance that will actually benefit American people. They're not proposing any solutions to any of the problems that are going on. They're just running on, we got to get Trump out of the White House. We got to get a Democrat in the White House, and then you guys will see that we really don't care about you. We're not going to do anything to help you guys out. When it comes to the policies, I mean, you look at California, Democrat-run state. It's declining every day. It's getting so bad that a lot of people are leaving the state and moving to more Republican states. And if that's fine, great, get out of the state. Don't come to Republican states and then vote for Democrat policies that ruin the state you just came from. That's my problem with a lot of these people that, they don't take responsibility for their own choices, their own actions, These people voted for all these Democrats in California, and when it's not what they want, instead of, trying to make a change and vote for someone else, maybe someone a little bit different like a Republican, no, we're just going to leave that. We're going to go to a Republican state and then vote more Democrat policies in that state and turn that state blue and horribly run by Democrats. Look at the way Detroit is run as a city. Look at the way Baltimore is run as a city. Look at the way Chicago is run as a city. Look at the way New York is. I mean, these are all Democrat-run cities, and they are getting worse by the day. High homeless problems, high crime rates, high taxes. That's the America under Democrat control. That's the future of America under Democrat control. Just take a look at those cities, and that's all you need to know. Moving on to the last thing is that ultimately they don't care about minorities, and it's all a power hungry thing because they want to get rid of the Electoral College. They want to go with the national popular vote because they know with the national popular vote we can pretty much overrule any votes of people in flyover country, the farmers, the average Americans, the quote unquote rednecks, the people that really work to make this country run and keep it running, like mechanics, janitors, all these blue collar jobs. They don't really care about your opinion at the end of the day. The cities will be the ones that decide our elections going forth. And the reason they want that is because these cities are Democrat run. These cities are essentially full of, in my opinion, brainwashed Democrat people who really are so blinded by technology and so blinded by the good life they have, they don't bother to actually do any research on anything. So I'm keeping this video short. I could go on forever and ever. These are just some basic quick quick points, common sense points in how I view the Democrats and why it just to me is so blatantly obvious that they only care about power. And it's one of the reasons I can't support that is because I will never support someone who is just solely power hungry, someone who is so desperate to get power that they'll do anything to get that power. And then once they have that power, they're not going to give it up. They're not going to want to give it up. So anyway, I hope you guys go out there, do the research yourself. I hope you like this video. I hope you subscribe. If you want to see more, I'm trying to do more content going forward, trying to do better content going forward, trying to do more uplifting content going forward because, we're constantly bombarded by all the negativity in life. And I'd really like to do more fun things. Still keep it, like a political landscape, but, do it in a more positive light. But I just have to get my first couple videos out there. The Democrats are no good for this country. They are anti-American. They want socialism. They want communism, which does not pan out well for the average American. Does not pan out well for people of those countries who suffer from those regimes. Look at China. Just because you say, oh, well, Bernie will say, well, China has done a lot to get people out of poverty. No, he had the free markets, America's, free market capitalistic mentality economy that we kind of gave to China in a lot of aspects is what has gotten a lot of people out of poverty. Those people have no rights, no freedoms. They have a Chinese social credit system where it's everything you do is marked down on a system where you get points deducted or points added. And more often than not, simple things as jaywalking. That'll hurt your credit score to the point where you won't be able to buy a train ticket to travel anywhere. You won't be able to buy a plane ticket to go out of the country. You won't be allotted certain rights. You could have your finances put on hold so that you go to the grocery store and now you can't buy food because your social credit score is not worthy. It's not good enough. If that's the country you want to live in, there's already countries out there in the world that you can go move to. You don't have to be here in America and try and turn this country into one of those. Anyway, that's going to be my final thought on the day. Please like, subscribe, share this video, hit the notification bell, anything you can do to help me out. I don't care about money. Honestly, I don't plan on making any money from this. I just want to get my voice out there while I still can, So if you really feel strongly about this country, if you care about your freedom, if you care about the money in your pocket, you don't want more taxes, you don't want to have rights taken away from you and be able to make less choices in life, decide what you can put in your body, you can't vote Democrat at the end of the day because right now I just don't see it on that side of the aisle. I just don't see it on that side of the aisle. I don't see anything that remotely points to that they care about average Americans, average people. It's the elites versus the rest of us, and that's why under Obama the rich got richer and the poor got poorer, and that's why under Trump you're seeing that actually start to kind of level out again. We're starting to see a middle class come back. So with that said, y'all have a good day. Take it easy. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this video, anything you can. Appreciate you. Y'all have a good day. Take it easy.